Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Dear students, how are you? I hope all of you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am also well. Welcome to our online platform of NIVS Home School. Here I am Muhammad Faruk Hossain, Assistant English Teacher of National English Version School, Day Shift, and now I am going to conduct your class about tech question. And this is your first class in class 10, and dear students, you already have learned about this topic from class 9, and our today's lecture number 1 is half yearly about tech question English second paper. Okay, dear students, I have written a few tech questions here without answer. And I will solve it inshallah, and this 10 would be your homework. Okay, so first of all, she sings well. Number 1, I write she sings well. Dear students, for doing tech question, you already have learnt about this. For doing tech question, first of all, we need to identify the auxiliary verb. Then we have to put the auxiliary verb here. Then whether the sentence is affirmative, then we need to add extra not or negative word with that auxiliary verb, and whether the sentence is negative, then we don't need to add any not or negative word with the tag. Okay, and after that we have to use the pronoun of the subject. Then let's do it. She sings well. Dear students, she is the subject, then sings is the verb, then there is no actually object, it's extension. Okay, but this is verb, so we have to identify the sentence about its tense regarding verb. So sing plus extra s, so that means this is a third person singular number subject which requires an extra s for the case of present indefinite tense. Dear students, for the case of present indefinite tense, we use do and does as its auxiliary verb. Okay, now a question may arise that when we use do and when we use does. When the subject is only third person singular number, on that case we have to use does, and for the rest other cases we have to use do. So what are the third person singular numbers? He, she, any name, that means Faruk, then Jihad, like this, you, all of your names, it, and any singular subject, this are called third person singular number. So for that cases we have to use does, and for rest other cases, that means I, we, you, they, like this plural subjects, we have to use do. Dear students, so it's present indefinite tense, and although the verb requires an extra s, so and although the subject is she, we have to use does. Does. Okay, then this is affirmative sentence. Okay, although this is affirmative sentence, so we have to use extra not, doesn't. Now we have to use its pronoun. So she is pronoun, so we have to use she. Dear students, if here it was not she, it was Shima. Okay, Shima. On that case, Shima's pronoun would be she, so we will have to write she. Okay, then come to example number 2. They work hard. They work hard. Dear students, they work hard. Here the subject is they and the verb is work hard. In this case, there is no extra s with the verb. They is subject, work hard, it's the verb. So this is also present indefinite tense, and its subject is they. They is not third person singular number. So you will have to add do as its auxiliary verb, because there is no direct auxiliary verb, and there is no direct auxiliary verb for the case of two tenses. They are present indefinite tense and past indefinite tense. Okay. So for this case we have to use do and does. So for the case of they, we have to use do, because they is not third person singular number. Okay. Then we have to add not, because this is an affirmative sentence, then they. So its answer would be don't they. Shamim wrote a letter. Shamim wrote a letter. Dear students, Shamim is third person singular number and its verbs past form. So subject plus verbs past form, then object. Okay. So I am writing it. Shamim wrote a letter. But so dear students, Shamim wrote a letter. Here Shamim is subject, wrote is verb, that means verb 2, then a letter is object. Dear students, subject plus verb 2 plus object, that means verbs past form. So which tense is it? It's past indefinite tense. Okay. For the case of present indefinite tense, I told you that there is no direct auxiliary verb for this present indefinite tense and past indefinite tense, and for these two cases we have to use do, does or did as auxiliary verb. So although it's past indefinite tense, we have to use did. Although here did is only alone, so there is no confusion. In every cases, that means in every service we have to use did. Okay. Shamim wrote a letter, so its answer would be didn't. Did, then its affirmative sentence. We have to add additional not, didn't. Then Shamim. Shamim's pronoun what? Shamim's pronoun would be he, then question mark. Okay. So its answer would be like this. Now dear students, don't forget me. Dear students, don't forget me, it's imperative sentence. So for the case of most of the imperative sentences or alike this kind of sentence which starts with verb, we have to use will you. Okay. Then imagine that open the door or close the door. Whether it is affirmative or negative, we have to use will you. Let's do the work. Let's do the work. That means let's means let us. That means I am also included here. So for the case of these two cases, these two examples, similarly here shall or will come. Then although here let us means I am also included, so its answer would be shall we. Okay. Then number 6, how sweet the bird sings. Dear students, how sweet the bird sings. Here you get sings. Okay. Additional s with the verb. Additional s with the verb. So here by seeing this s, you will evaluate that it's present indefinite tense, and by seeing this s, you have to remember that you have to use does. Okay. How sweet the bird sings. Dear students, for this case, for this kind of subjects, we have to use it. And another important one thing is that when you will get any difficulty to identify the subject, if you get any difficulty to identify the subject, on that case you will use it as subject. Okay. But here the subject is bird, so you will have to use it as verb, as subject. So its answer would be doesn't it. Okay. Then number 7, nobody likes flowers. Dear students, in this case, this also likes, okay? It's also likes, but there is another thing, the subject is everybody. Dear students, if you get any word at the beginning, that means everybody, everyone, somebody, someone, anybody, anyone, all of them, some of them, every one of them, most of them, for all this case, we have to use they as subject, okay? Dear students, for the case of 7, let's see its answer. Everybody, for the case of everybody, we have to use them, they as their pronoun, but look, here is like, likes. So for saying likes, if you be ready to use does, it would be mistake, okay? It would be do, because why? Because they is not any third person singular number, okay? So we have to use don't they. Dear students, I am telling you again, for this kind of subjects, everybody, everyone, somebody, someone, all of them, like this, we have to use they as its pronoun, but when we will use they, we are not allowed to use does, because does is used only with third person singular number. Although they is not third person singular number, it's third person plural number. So for this case, we can't change this pronoun, so we can change this auxiliary verb. So for this case, we have to use don't they. It's really important to you. Then number 8, I need your help. Dear students, you know that need is a modal auxiliary verb, okay? So I have given to need here, okay? But in few cases, we can see need as main verb. I need your help. I need your help. Here help is noun, not verb. So I need your help. Dear students, here this need is using as main verb. So I need your help, it's present indefinite tense. So its answer would be don't I, because it's main verb. But for the case of 9, example 9, you need not go. You need not go. Dear students, here go is main verb. So need is auxiliary verb. So and there is also not. So you are not allowed to add any negative word in the tag. So its answer would be, although the need is auxiliary verb, so need you. For 9, need you. Is it clear to everyone? That means although this need is used as auxiliary verb, so we have to use need. Then we cannot use any not with need because it's negative sentence, and then pronoun is you. Dear students, now number 10, which is too much important. He hardly visits our house. Dear students, here the word hardly, okay? The words hardly, scarcely, seldom, never, none, okay? Dear students, little, few, all these words which are too much important, try to memorize all these words. All these words are negative words. These words expresses or mean something negative. He hardly visits our house. That means he visits our house not always, okay? He hardly visits our house. That means very few he visits our house. So although this negative word is used here, so its answer would be he hardly visits our house. Does he? Why not will not be used here? Because these words are negative. And you have homework number 1. These 10 tags would be your homework. Dear students, this class is too much easiest, and tag question is one of the easiest topic to you, and I hope you all got understood today's class, and you will practice it at home. If you practice it after watching the video, then it would be very much easier to you. And this is the end of the class. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.